Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on the Space Couch today, in the wake of the events of The Force Awakens, what is next for Chewbacca? I mean, he had that life debt to Han Solo for saving him from slavery. I mean, if that is still canon, I'm not sure. The Han Solo movie is going to go into the Han and Chewie origin story, so I guess we'll find out how they met. I'm sure that slavery thing is still going to play a role to it. But now that Han has passed away, sadly, is that debt now cancelled? Or is it now going to be transferred? I mean, I recall in some of the old canon, I think after Chewbacca died, that some of his relatives took on or were prepared to take on that life debt for Han Solo, although he declined them in the end. So I don't know, maybe it will be transferred to someone else, that life debt. But the question is who? I mean, would it be Leia perhaps, or possibly even Rey? Who knows? I mean, Chewie is, like the Millennium Falcon and R2-D2 and C-3PO, he's part of the landscape of Star Wars that transitions through the various generations, you know? I mean, he was fighting in the Clone Wars in Episode 3. Then he was with Han Solo and the Rebellion in Episodes 4 to 6. And then decades later, he was still with Han Solo looking for the Millennium Falcon and tearing up the galaxy, swindling all the bad guys, of course. Now, I will just say, in Episode 7, it was absolutely the best Chewbacca we've ever had in any of the previous films. I mean, it was funny, he was sarcastic, he's a complete badass, and we finally saw an enraged Wookiee, which you hadn't seen before, you know? I mean, he did more in Episode 7 than he did in 3 to 6 combined. That's not to downplay his roles in those, but he was fantastic in Episode 7. It was like Dream Chewbacca almost, what he always really was, I guess. We finally got to see it. So, I mean, obviously at the end of The Force Awakens, he's on the Falcon with Rey, going to Ach-To with R2 to find Luke Skywalker. That would, I guess, be a familiar face for Luke to see. I mean, not that he couldn't sense, I assume, or even see the Falcon coming in to land at his little island. So what does Chewie do now? You know, I mean, yeah, he's currently on Ach-To with Rey and Luke and R2, assuming that he stays there and wasn't just dropping Rey off, you know, so she can do her training or whatever, and then he heads back to Dakar or heads back to doing whatever, who knows? I mean, I would love to see him having adventures with the new cast, so with Rey and with Finn and with Poe and obviously with Luke Skywalker, with whom he has such a huge history. It'd be absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's going to be looking for revenge against the First Order, and who can blame him, you know? I mean, shooting Kylo Ren in the side and blowing up part of the thermal oscillator is not sufficient revenge for a enraged Wookiee, let me tell you. I mean, we've yet to actually see Wookiee rip someone's arm off. It's always been hinted at, and yes, there's the deleted scene from The Force Awakens with Uncle Plot where he gets what he deserves, but we've still yet to see it. Maybe we'll finally see that in Episode 8 if it is indeed going to be that fantastic, dark, brutal movie that we hope it's going to be. I mean, hopefully Chewbacca can now come out from under that huge shadow cast by Han Solo and play a much fuller role in the saga, not just be a sidekick. I mean, Chewbacca, he's an absolute hero, and who doesn't love Chewbacca? I mean, despite the fact that he got dissed at the end of the medal ceremony of A New Hope, and he gets blanked by Leia at the end of The Force Awakens, which, yes, I mean, that didn't really work out the way they hoped it to. I can understand why they tried to do that, but I mean, she should have hugged Chewie first and then gone to Rey, but well, that's just by the by. I mean, he certainly deserves an exciting role in Episodes 8 and 9. It's like, he is one of the things that makes Star Wars after all. You know, given how long-lived Wookiees are in that universe, he could outlive all of the characters, except of course for Maz. And I do want to see some Maz and Chewie scenes together. That would be absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, for now it appears he's going to be Rey's co-pilot. Like I say, we'll see how long that lasts. But, I mean, is he maybe going to want to return to Kashyyyk? Is he going to want to just go off and do something else entirely? Will he stay with the Resistance? Who knows? I mean, I don't think he's been back to Kashyyyk since the Clone Wars in this new canon, although I could be mistaken. So anyway, guys, that was just my thoughts on what's next for Chewbacca. I mean, he's lost his life partner, you know, and obviously that's going to have ramifications for the rest of the trilogy and further trilogies down the line, I have no doubt. I really hope they don't kill off Chewbacca, which they could. I mean, he could have been killed off in this one, you know, where he gets shot on the Eravana at the end of the Rathtar sequence, but there's no way they would bump them both off in one movie. I mean... It was bad enough that we were in bits at the end of The Force Awakens. So to lose Chewie as well? No, we can't. I mean, it's funny because I'm terrified of werewolves. I know it's ridiculous, but I'm mortally afraid of them. And yet Chewbacca, despite essentially being something like that, never felt scared of Chewbacca. It was always, despite his fearsome visage, you felt safe with Chewbacca. And protected, that he would protect you, you know, or he'd kill you in an instant with those massive claws he's no doubt got. That's something else I'd like to see. I'd like to see Chewbacca climbing around, you know. That would be fantastic, seeing him shimmying up and down things like proper Wookiee. That would be brilliant. So yes, that's what I think we can perhaps expect for Chewbacca in the upcoming movies. He does need to find a new role now that Han Solo is no longer part of his life. Whether that's filled by, say, Rey or Leia or something else entirely remains to be seen. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for upcoming topic let's see discussed. Let me know what your thoughts on Chewbacca were. And you just know, don't you, that Chewbacca gives the best hugs. Everyone wants to hug the Wookiee. I mean, you see it on the on-set photos, like, say, when Harry and William were there. Or when... the guys from the 501st Legion, the ones who dress up as Wookiees and they do their charity work, everyone wants to hug the Wookiee. This is apparently how the Wookiee costumes get worn out and the hair comes out. Everybody wants to hug them. And I want to hug a Wookiee as well.